Hello, today I'm going to teach you how to work partial fractions. But before I go anywhere, I want you to make sure that you know how to work with fractions, just simple adding, subtracting, multiplication of fractions. You really need to know this, is very important. Factorizing. You don't need to know too much factorizing, but I especially need you to know factorizing the quadratic. So something like squared plus bx plus c, how to factorize that into something that's, something plus x or something plus x. You need to be able to factorize it into that form. That is very important. If you don't know how to do that, Google factorizing the quadratic. There's lots of online help out there. And next thing I want you to know is solving simultaneous equations. This one is important into breaking fractions into partial fractions. So if you don't know these three very important things, I suggest you pause this video now and go and look up how to do them. Okay, so now we're going to get into some working. So we want to decompose this fraction, 5 over x squared plus 3x plus 2. First thing we want to do is to factorize the denominator. So I'll make a note there. We want to factorize this. Now, you should already know how to factorize, so I'm just going to go straight in and do it already. So we go 5, can you see that? Let's move it over a bit, there we go. 5 on x plus 1, x plus 2. So we've got that factorized. Now, to decompose the fraction, we want it in the form a on x plus 1, that's that term there, plus b on this term here, so x plus 2. So we want it in this form, but we need to work out what a and b are equal to. So, to go about that, we multiply everything out, so we've got no fractions because they're annoying. So we go, I'll do this slowly so you understand. We want to get rid of this fraction here. So we times everything by this value. So x plus 1 on this, and that's equal to a x plus 1 on x plus 1 plus b x plus 1 x plus 1. See, we've multiplied everything in the whole equation by x plus 1. So now we'll cancel out the things that we don't need. So that goes with that, that goes with that, and, oh sorry, that should be a 2 there because we've got the 2 and the 2. So that leaves us with the equation 5 on x plus 2 is equal to a, because they both cancel, plus b times x plus 1 on x plus 2. Now we want to get rid of this fraction, which in turn will get rid of this fraction as well. So how do we do that? Well, we times everything by x plus 2. So that'll be x plus 2, and that'll be x plus 2, a bit messy, but we cancel, and oh, we've got to times this one by x plus 2 as well, otherwise you'll end up with the wrong answer and we don't want that. So now that brings this whole thing here, I'll just move it over so you can see it a bit better there. That brings this whole expression here to be equal to 5 is equal to a x plus 2 plus b x plus 1. So essentially what we did to get from here to here was multiply out all these fractions. And if you're confident with the algebra, you can probably just go straight from here to here, but I just thought I would, expand it out a bit so you can understand what's going on. Okay. So now we're up to this bit. We expand out the brackets, so we go 5 is equal to a x plus 2a, so a to the a Then we go bx plus b. So we've put the b into the x and the b into there. Okay, now here's where it starts to move away from the algebra and more of the process of breaking into partial fractions. So what we want to do is we want to rearrange this, and I'll show you why in a sec. So we want to bring these two together, not together but next to each other. So ax plus bx, like this, and then everything else on the end. So now we've got these together, we can take out a common factor, which is a plus b. So we want 5 is equal to a plus b x, because if we times both of these by x, we're back to where we belong. And you've got to make sure you check these type of things when you're working with algebra. And then everything else on the end. Okay, now we'll move up to the other column. And I'll rewrite what we just did, just so you can see, because you can't see it because it's out of the frame. So we've got 5 is equal to a plus bx plus 2a plus b. Okay. So if we think of this as being, I would use a different color. 5 is equal to 0x plus 5, because this equation is true, is it not? Anything times 0 is 0, so 5 is equal to 5 here. So let's say, I'll write this down, because if we know that a plus b x is equal to 0, then 2a plus b must be equal to 5. Otherwise the equation won't work, because this is equal to 0. This must be equal to 5. So we can rewrite that like a plus b is equal to 0. That's this bit here. That's also this bit here. And we know, so if that's equal to 0, then this bit, or this bit, must be equal to 5. So we write that down. 2a plus b must be equal to 5. And we have our simultaneous equation. Now I'll move to another sheet of paper to work this out, because I need that extra space. So I'll rewrite the simultaneous equation again. So that's a plus b is equal to 0, and 2a plus b is equal to 5. That's equation 1, that's equation 2. Now you should already know how to solve simultaneous equations, but I'll work through it with you anyway. So we'll rearrange this so we have a is equal to negative b. That's our equation 3. So then we will, wrong colour pen, we will sub equation 3 into equation 2. So we get 2 minus b, you can see that, yep, plus b is equal to 5. So negative 2b plus b is equal to 5. Negative b is equal to 5. Therefore, b is equal to negative 5. Put a square around that so we don't lose it in our working. And that is our equation, what are we up to? 4. So now we sub 4 into let's go equation 1. Okay, so a plus negative 5 is equal to 0. Bring the 5 over, a is equal to 5. Okay, so we know our a and our b. But if you're in an exam situation, your markers won't like you leaving it like this. They'll want you to rewrite the whole thing just to summarize it up. So what you'd do is you'd write your original question, so 5, bad handwriting, 5 on x squared plus 3x plus 2 is equal to 5 on x plus 1 plus negative 5 on x plus 2. Can you see that there? Let's move the paper over. And that's how you would write it. Now if you notice, see this expression here is difficult to work with. You've got your x squared, it's just not nice. Whilst over here you've got nice easy numbers to work with. It's a lot better. There we go. And that is how you solve a partial fraction. In the link in the description, I'll put a link to my notes written out. They're a bit easier to follow if you want to take your own time going through all my steps. So check that out, links in the description, and good luck.